Dear friends, we want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. For this Shabbat, we will be reading the Torah portion of Acharei, and we will be blessing the new month of Iyar, which Rosh Chodesh is Sunday and Monday. In this week's Torah portion, which we have studied for the past 3 weeks, in the last part, it talks about all different types of illicit and immoral relationships that the Torah forbids. And the Torah enumerates quite a few people, men and women, that are not allowed to get married to each other, not allowed to be with each other intimately. And in between all of these relationships that are forbidden, it mentions that another relationship that is forbidden is a woman, while she's menstruating, you're not allowed to have any relations with her. And unlike the other ones, which is talking about people who you're not allowed to marry or be with in a form of marriage, here we're talking about a very different type of relationship. We were talking about even your wife, and specifically your wife, someone who you're allowed to be married to. And even though you are married to them, there are times in the relationship and during the period of life while a woman is menstruating, for the menstruation period and then 7 days thereafter of cleanliness, you cannot be together in an intimate relationship. And it's very fascinating because I think this is where we see the Torah's approach to understanding of how we view the laws that God had given us. God is not just telling us, I don't want you to be in this type of relationship with a close relative, a family member, or other types of relationships. But Torah is telling us that through our everyday normal life activities, by disciplining ourselves and following a certain way of life and a guideline that God had given us, we actually elevate ourselves. We don't become holy only when we do Shabbat or holidays or tefillin. We become holy when we take our regular mundane activities, where the Torah gives us full permission to do it as per our discretion. And within there, we create guidelines and structure. And we don't just give in to everything we want, but we create restrictions which allow us to appreciate and understand our relationship with that action. So when it comes to eating, the Torah says you can eat anything that's kosher. But yet we know that you don't just gobble down and become a glutton in food, but you structure yourself, you discipline what you eat, how you eat, when you eat, and that makes you a better human being, creates better characteristics, etc., etc. And that's what the Torah is telling us here. In the most important relationship of all, marriage, a husband and wife, together, even there are restrictions. And there the Torah doesn't leave it fully to our discretion. The Torah prescribes it because it's not an easy thing for someone to fulfill. But it's one of the most fulfilling things in creating the most powerful relationship that one can wish for in their life between them and their spouse. And that is that a woman, during a time of menstruation, this is a time when husband and wife are not allowed to be together physically. They still live under the same roof, they're still a married couple, but they relate to each other in a different form. Communication, talking, understanding, sharing other things, which builds up a much more meaningful relationship, which allows the physical relationship, when it's allowed, to be much more powerful. And that's how we have to view everything in life. When we say no to something, we're not really saying no, exclamation mark. We're saying no to this because I'm saying a bigger yes to something else. A yes to a stronger relationship than just being in a relationship. And once we view Torah in that way, it's a different appreciation and understanding of what God demands from us and what He at times demands that we demand from ourselves. and you will be the biggest beneficiary for all of this. So may God bless you. God loves you all. We wish you a Shabbat Shalom. Candlelighting time in Montreal, 7:40 p.m. on this Shabbat that we bless the month